HadesOmega here. We're gonna go ride some Yamahas today. Unfortunately, I don't think I'll be able to get a video of me actually riding. But here we are at East Bay Motorsports. There it is. There's the Yamaha truck. Hopefully, they'll have what I want to ride. Looks like they already took off. I guess we'll have to park in the back. Alright, HadesOmega here. I'm here checking out the new Yamaha 2020 Yamaha Tenere 700. Been excited about this bike for a while. We're not going to be able to use cameras on this ride, so I'm just going to sit on it and tell you what I think about it, you know, how it fits me and all that. So here it is. MSRP $9,999. Sit on it. I'm 5'10", 180 pounds, and I'm on like the balls of my feet. Not tippy toe, not quite. I don't know what kind of. I'm assuming they have probably the lowest seat on this, but yeah. It's not that heavy. I think this comes in at about 450 pounds, somewhere around that. And I don't know, when you kind of swing it from foot to foot, it doesn't seem too heavy. Clutch pull, not too bad, pretty light. It's got adjustable brake lever. So there's a dash right here. It's right there in front. It's this it looked kind of like a tablet type of thing. It's kind of funky. It's got a power outlet here. See if I could stand on it, see what it feels like. Hopefully I don't break the side stand, but so that's me standing up right there. I'm arms straight right now. It feels very comfortable to stand for my height. So I don't think I would have to modify the seating position at all on it, you know. In fact, yeah, it just feels good. It fits me. It fits my frame very well. So I'm gonna say I can stand very easily with this. And maybe I would rotate the controls down a little bit. But yeah, feels good. I feel like I can stand on this all day. The tank is a little wide, but it's okay. And then my knees kind of droop below the tank here. So, and it feels like it kind of cuts into my leg. Kind of don't like that. You would just have to ride it for a long time and see how that feels, you know. Okay, so they got a second Tenere 700 here. I think this says it has a lowering link and a lowered seat and forks. And indeed, it looks like the forks have been pushed up into the clamps a bit. So this is the lowered one. So the other one was the standard height, I think. Yeah, this one is much lower. I can get my heels on the ground. Much lower. So there you go. That's what the lowered seat and forks, 3/4 inch each. So it lowers the seat height from 32.5 to 34.4 standard height. But yeah, this one is much easier to throw. But I think I think the standard height one fits me perfectly. I would want it as tall as possible if I was gonna off-road it, you know. So let's go try to stand on this one. It's still very comfortable to stand at, I don't know, it's just lower, that's all. Yeah, it's just lower. It doesn't really change the ergonomics at all. It's still got the same ergonomics when standing, so pretty nice. I like it. I feel like I could stand all day on this puppy. Very nice. And you'll be standing on it a whole lot, so I was thinking. So there is a ABS on-off button here. I kind of don't like it here. I would rather have it on the handlebar somewhere like the BMWs. The BMW has an ABS button right here. This one you got to hold this down to turn it off. I would rather we not be able to. I would rather that we not have to remove our hand from the handlebar to do that. So I should do that Yamaha. There's a selector switch right here that I guess this toggles through the menus and stuff. Cool. Kind of gas cap here. The tank kind of comes up pretty high. It's already like where the gas cap is. It's already like kind of like where my sternum is. So the tank is pretty meaty on it. I heard that they'll be coming out with a bigger tank version too. I think that's the one that I would get. So, but there it is. It's got a 21-inch front. I think it's a 18-inch rear. There is that CP2 motor from the MT-07, FC-07. It's like almost a 700cc twin. Very nice motor. I can't wait to go ride it and tell you guys what I think about it. That's pretty much all we could do. So this one's the kind of white and red. I think I would have kind of preferred just all white, you know. Yeah, I think if I could do all white it would be nice. But it's kind of got like a matte black fender. It's got some upside down forkies with a huge fork guard on it. Dual disc brakes. Dual piston calipers. Yeah, 21-inch front. Very nice. It does have a skid plate on it. Okay, the oil filter is kind of tucked up there. I think it'd be okay as long as you got a bash plate on it. Water cooled. Be nice if it had cruise control or an option for cruise control, but I guess you can always fit some kind of cruise control device. I noticed the throttle's a little kind of hard to twist, huh? It's not a super light throttle compared to, say, MT-09 here. Yeah, it's about the same. Yeah, no, it does feel like it's kind of hard to twist. So, you know, I kind of like a lighter throttle. I think you could move them up. Also, it kind of lacks a hydraulic preload adjuster. I was looking at. Oh no. I think it does have one. Let me see. There's a big knob on it back here. Oh, it does. It does have a hydraulic preload adjuster. There you go. Yes. So, I'll get a close-up video of it. Check it out. Okay, so one thing that's nice about the Tenere 700 is it has a hydraulic preload adjuster right here. Okay, so if I twist this clockwise, it should increase the preload. You'll see the little collar, or you'll see the adjuster move right there. Yeah. See, I'm twisting it clockwise right now, and it's moving out. Okay, if I twist it counterclockwise, it moves back in. So that's nice. I like that feature. My DR650 doesn't have that. Yeah, so one reason I like that feature is because when you load the bike up, you don't have to adjust the preload collar on the spring. You just use the hydraulic preload adjuster. It's really easy to adjust. And then when you unload the bike, then you just twist it counterclockwise to unload the bike. So that's really easy. All right. Alright, hey, HadesOmega here, and so I finally got to ride the Yamaha Tenere 700, also known as the T7, alright, so we're here at Palomares Road. We're going to go have some fun riding on the way back on my KLR 650, and I'm going to talk about these Tenere 700, okay, so I was expecting it to be very similar to riding an MT-07. I did ride an XSR 700, so I will kind of compare, you know, kind of what it feels like, because they have the same motor. It has, the Tenere 700 has a CP2 motor, okay? That is the, what is it? It's a twin cylinder, 700, almost 700cc motor. And yeah, so I got to ride it. I'll tell you, I'm 5'10", 175 pounds, and they had a lower version and they had a standard height version. So good on Yamaha for having, you know, different seat height options for the bike. So if you are height challenged, you could ride the bike. You know, I rode the standard height version. Okay. The standard height, it fits me perfectly, kind of like my DR650. I can get my I can get the balls of my feet on the front balls of my feet on the ground. Not quite tippy-toe, almost tippy-toe, but not quite. I'm 5'10", 175 pounds, okay? So that just gives you an idea of how high that is. They had a lowered version. I did sit on it. I'm not sure what they did to lower it. I do know they slid the forks up the triple clamps a little bit, like an inch or so. It had a lower seat, so that means the seat had like less foam in it, okay? And there might be a lowering link, I'm thinking. But they had a lowered version, okay? And I could get the heels of my feet on the ground. That's pretty low, you know. I could get the heels of my feet on the ground. So it was pretty low. So okay, let's get to riding it. All right. So how does it feel, HadesOmega? I have ridden an MT-07 before. I've ridden an MT-07 many times. I put many miles on MT-07. So, and I thought it would make a great adventure bike, especially the motor. Okay. I have to say, when I was riding it, I felt like I was going through the gears so fast. You know, I guess I'm kind of riding it like my KLR or my DR650, and you could ride it like that, man. You could just go short shifting through the gears. It doesn't really care what gear you're in because it's got so much torque. Okay, it's not so critical what gear you're in. I did kind of feel it didn't have too much grunt down low, maybe like under like 4,000 RPM. It didn't have too much grunt, so that's probably about the time you want to downshift, okay? But yeah, it had lots of power. It's got 6 speeds. I don't remember what the RPMs were when we were doing 70 miles an hour on the freeway, but it was very comfortable to ride on the freeway. It feels big. Like, it's not like the KLR feels smaller than it. It's funny, you know. The KLR feels. I think the KLR feels wider. It didn't feel like a very wide bike, but like it kind of had that cool rally fairing. And I have to say, the windscreen worked perfectly. It worked great for me, for someone my height, 5'10", 175 pounds. Probably, you know, the height probably applies more there. Oh boy, it's getting cold. So what else? The windscreen worked pretty damn good. Where I could feel the wind was like right at the top of the helmet. So basically, you know, you got clean air till about the top of the helmet. It fit me pretty good. If anything, maybe it could be a tad higher. I don't know how adjustable that windscreen is. I don't think it was adjustable at all, but I think you can probably get a taller one if you want. HadesOmega would probably, I don't know, man. Yeah, one of the bummers about the windscreen, I don't think there's a way to adjust it. I'm not 100% on it, okay? But I don't think you could adjust the windscreen. One of the nice things about having adjustable windscreen is, you know, if you're riding in real hot weather and you want to get more wind to your body, you know, you could do that, you know, so you don't overheat so much. And then when it's cold and chilly out, you know, that's when it's nice to have a tall windscreen because it takes the wind away from your chest and your head. It quiets the ride down. The ride was pretty quiet, I have to say. It was pretty nice. What else? How vibey was it? Okay, HadesOmega, notice it's a little bit vibey, okay? It's not, I don't know, let me see. I'm riding my KLR right now. I would say it's definitely less vibey at higher RPMs than the KLR, that's for sure. Because this is, you know, this is a single. And, so yeah. I did ride the XSR 700 after, okay, and the XSR, oh yeah, okay, so let me tell you, one of HadesOmega's dislikes about the MT-07 is the jerky throttle. So when you get off the throttle and you get back on it, there's a big jerk, kind of a big jerk, a big surge of power. I don't like that. It's like herky-jerky, you know, the bike kind of lurches forward. I don't like that. And I have to say, after riding the XSR 700, that's pretty much like, it's almost like an MT-07. They kind of fixed it a little bit with the Tenere 700. It's still kind of got that throttle jerk, you know, when you're off throttle and you go back on throttle, like I'm doing right now. I mean, the KLR kind of has it, but it's not as bad as the MT-07, man. I'm telling you. But yeah, yeah, I can't see. I don't have my adventure bike helmet. Okay, yeah, I felt that the XSR 700, actually, I felt that the XSR 700 was less vibey. I don't know what it is. Like, it's just, the XSR 700 felt more, the motor felt like more connected. It didn't feel kind of, you know, the Tenere has this kind of vague feeling to it, you know, like it's really soft, you know, and it is. The ride was much more plush than the XSR 700, I'll tell you that. People were saying, people that were riding the lower Tenere 700 were saying the rear suspension was kind of harsh, and I didn't get that with the one I was riding. Now, it could have been because mine was not lowered, you know. My bike kind of, it fit me perfectly, so I felt the ride was great, you know. I have to say it was a little plush, a little soft, okay. I think if you wanted to do some, I had heard if you want to go adventure riding with it and you're going to put like all the stuff in all the luggage and stuff on the bike, you're going to have to uprate the springs. So if you're going to want to ride it in if you want to ride it more aggressively, you've got to what's the word? You got to lower the, you got to uprate the springs. You need stiffer springs. Yeah, I felt that the Tenere 700, it was a little bit vibey on the freeway. I'm always surprised. So that's one of the reasons I would get the Tenere over my DR650, is so it would be better on the pavement. And I think it is. I mean, it's got 6 speeds and everything. It seems like it's just humming right along, you know, but I was surprised how vibey it was. However, yeah, it was less jerky than the XSR 700 that I rode, you know. They did smoothen up the throttle. I do like that. I like having a smooth throttle. I don't like it being really jerky, getting on and off. Now, I know you can probably flash the ECU, you know, to map out a smoother throttle, but I thought the Tenere was pretty good. I was a little disappointed at first, and then I rode the XSR 700, and I was like, whoa, okay, this is way more vibey. Never mind. I'll take the Tenere 700. Yeah, and I mean, it went over all the bumps and speed bumps just fine. I didn't think the suspension was too harsh at all. I thought it was just right, you know, it was fine. I didn't ride the lower one, so I guess, you know, maybe if you got the lowered one, it just, you know, it doesn't feel right. I'm not sure. I wish I could have got a chance to swing a leg, or not swing a leg, but ride the whatchamacallit, the lower Tenere 700, okay? So but I really enjoyed it. One thing I wish that they would do is move the ABS button. The ABS button is on the dash, you know, on the front, and you gotta move your hand off of the handlebar to get to it, you know, and you have to hold it down. I don't want to be doing that while I'm riding, you know. I guess I don't even think you can do it while you're riding. You have to be stopped. So it would be nice, like the BMWs have an ABS button. It's on the handlebar, you know, to just hold it down while you're riding, and then ABS just shuts off, you know. I don't want to be fiddling around with the bike, you know, before every time I have to go off-road, you know. That being said, I wish I could have rode it off-road, did a little bit dirt riding, you know. I'm kind of interested to see how it is. Like I said, it felt like it was kind of lacking torque under 4,000 RPM, you know. But it might be fine for, you know, the road, you know, the dirt, basically. So, but yeah, we got to ride it on the freeway, and it was fine. You know, it's actually really comfortable. The seat's really comfortable. I think I had the standard seat on it, and I heard that the regular seat is the one that you want for comfort, you know. It's got more padding in it, you know. So yeah, I had a really great time riding the Tenere. $10,000? Can I afford that? Would you spend $10,000 on that bike, HadesOmega, to go adventure riding? That's a tough call, man, because man, a DR650 is like half that price, you know. My DR650 is 350 pounds, okay? My DR650 is. I don't know about, you know, other DR650s, but a DR650 comes in around 350 pounds, so once you load it up with all the baggage and stuff, it becomes much heavier, okay? Much more unwieldy. So, but I did feel the Tenere comes in at 450 pounds. I felt that it was all right, you know. It didn't feel heavy at all, is what I'm going to say. I think we had about a 3/4 tank of gas, okay? From my research, the Tenere 700 will do about 200 miles, get about 200 miles range, which is okay at the minimum for adventure riding. I would say 200 miles is what you know, at the minimum what you want. You probably want to do better than that, like 220, 230, 240, 250 is the magic number, HadesOmega. Because HadesOmega just rode the Trans-America Trail, and there were some sections that were like 200 miles long, you know, where we wouldn't be able to get gas. So you definitely would want a bigger tank, you know. And I heard that it's top secret, but they're working on like a travel version or a rally version or something, or like a more touring version of the Tenere that has a bigger gas tank, you know, so you can go the miles. My KLR 650 can do like 200. I wouldn't mind pushing it to 220. Okay, I could comfortably push it to 220. Probably get more. It depends on how you ride it, you know. That being said, the KLR 650 is, you know, it's freaking slow, dude. Yeah. So all right, we just cruising now. Maybe I can relax a little bit more. Try not to die while vlogging. But anyway, yeah, it was a whole lot of fun, man. I liked it. I wish it had cruise control. That's one thing I would want on it. So if you're coming out with another Tenere that has more doodads and gizmos, Yamaha, cruise control would be greatly welcome. As far as I know, none of the twins, any of the MT twins, the Megatorque twin CB2 equipped bikes have cruise control, unfortunately. They should really incorporate something like that, you know, because it's going to be something you're going to want to ride longer distances, you know, on the pavement. Do I feel like I could pick that bike up if I dropped it? You know what? In the form that it was in, I could probably pick it up by myself. That's the one thing I worry about riding an adventure bike, is it's so freaking heavy I can't pick it up. I can tell you I can pick up a KLR 650, I can pick up a DR 650 fully loaded, okay? And fully fueled, but fully fueled, oh my god, it's so heavy. So but yeah, I felt that I could pick that bike up if I had dropped it. So I did lean it over quite a lot, you know, while it wasn't on, and I tried to push up on it. I was like, oh, that's not too bad. I could probably pick it up, you know. It's something you don't want to be dropping it too much, that's for sure. It does come with a skid plate. One thing I did like about it is it has a hydraulic preload adjuster. Okay, so that what that does is there's a knob that you can turn, and it will increase and decrease the preload. Okay. And why would you want to do that, HadesOmega? Well, on an adventure bike, you probably want to ride your adventure bike fully loaded, you know, for when you're going out on an adventure. You're going to need more preload for the extra weight, so the bike handles properly. And that's one feature I wish my DR650 had, because I'm always riding it, you know, I'm adventure riding it, but then, you know, sometimes I want to take it for a spin, you know, around town without any of the luggage on, or, you know, if I want to just rip on it, go off-road riding, and I don't want to have all that junk on me, then yeah, I'll want to ride without all that stuff. So you would turn the preload adjuster down more, and that's a nice feature to have. So I wish my DR650 had it. It's like a $300 option for the shock that I got. So, but yeah, $10,000. I mean, hey, that's like it's probably your best budget. That's the best value for that kind of size bike. Okay, what competition for Tenere 700? Tiger 800. I don't think it's an 800 anymore. I think it's like an 850 or something. There's the KTM 790, which is like I heard it's like more than $3,000 more. So you could probably farkle up your Tenere, and it'll be better or as good as a 790 thing. And HadesOmega is into the Japanese bikes. I wouldn't buy a KTM. So what else? Yeah, and I think they got a bunch of accessories for it. I haven't really looked much into it. But Europe has had the bike for more than a year already, so the United States is just finally getting it. But there's already a lot of accessories coming out for it. It is the adventure bike to get, man. It doesn't have a whole lot of bells and whistles. There's no low ride modes. There is ABS. It has a dual front rotors and stuff. It's got the 21-inch front, 18-inch rear. So, I mean, those are all the stuff that you want in like a dirty kind of adventure bike, you know. HadesOmega recently rode the Trans-America Trail. Would HadesOmega ride that bike on the Trans-America Trail? Yes, I would. That would be an excellent bike for riding the Trans-America Trail, because the dirt roads just aren't that gnarly on the Trans-America Trail, is what I'm going to say, okay? Yeah, it sounded nice. It's got a kind of nice throaty kind of muffler sound to it, you know, the sound coming from the muffler. It's 6 speed, so I bet it would just be humming right along on the freeway. It was a little vibey on the freeway, you know, the handlebar and stuff, but I think it's a good vibration, you know. Good vibration, this is what I want to say. So I think at speed it'd probably be better than my DR650. HadesOmega is seriously thinking of, you know, or trading in my KLR 650 for a Tenere, you know. I'm seriously thinking about it. I want something smoother, you know. The Tenere wasn't super duper smooth. It's not like a freaking 4-cylinder, okay? I'm gonna say it's not as smooth. Definitely not 4-cylinder smooth is what I'm gonna say, man. Okay, yeah. Tenere 700. I really liked it. Good wind protection out of the package. Nice, comfy out of the package. Oh, standing. Oh, I didn't go over standing. Yes, I did get to stand on it quite a bit. It fits me perfectly, dude. I could stand on that bike all day if I needed to, okay? So you could do stand-up riding if you're riding in the dirt, you know, all day long on it, man. It's awesome. Alright, here we go. So yeah, I did get opportunities to stand up and ride on it, you know, and it was great. It's a perfect height, you know. The bars weren't too low; they were just right for me. For me, at 5'10", 175 pounds, standing up on it was very, very comfortable. I felt the foot pegs were just the right height; they weren't too high, too low, you know. And you could stand on it comfortably. So, good job, Yamaha, on that. So, all right, thanks for watching my video on my experience riding the Tenere 700. I'm sorry I couldn't get a actual video of me riding the Tenere because Yamaha doesn't let you use an action cameras while riding. So I will respect their wishes, and you know, that's just the way we do the Yamaha demo rides now. I ride it and I tell you how it's like after, you know. But I did get a couple videos of it. Check it out. All right. HadesOmega. I will have the specs at the beginning of the video. Alright, HadesOmega. Hey, now that HadesOmega is home, I knew one thing I didn't notice. There's no center. I don't think there was a center stand on that Tenere 700. Because I'm trying to put my bike on a center stand right now. It's nice to have a center stand. That's another thing. Hopefully, there's a center stand option for the Tenere 700. You know. I got one on my DR, but it's not very good, dude. The one on my KLR is actually pretty good. So that's another thing I would want for a Tenere 700. So you can change flat tire, you know, that kind of stuff. I would want a center stand. And, you know, it just makes doing general maintenance on the bike better, you know. I don't know what it takes to maintain an MT-07 motor, you know, the CP2. I don't know what kind of... I heard it's pretty low on maintenance, so not too bad, I think. So maintenance-wise, I don't think it would be too bad. I think those CP2s are they're pretty reliable. I think it makes enough power. I mean, compared to this KLR 650, I'm sure it makes loads more power, you know. I thought it has adequate power. It's not like it's gonna like, oh yeah, it's got so much power, it's got adequate power is all I say. Just like the KLR. The KLR's got adequate power. It's nothing to write home about. So it's got decent power. I'm just wondering how that translates to off-road riding. And you got 6 speeds, so I think it would be okay. I don't know if you would have to gear it down or at all. I wouldn't gear it down all that much because I wouldn't want to compromise its ability to ride on the pavement either. So, but that's up to you. It depends on what what you're going to be doing with your bike. But I would like a bike that can zip on the freeway at least 70 miles an hour, 80 miles an hour. How about that, man? When I was going on my trip to the Trans-America Trail, the I-80, the speed limit is 80 miles an hour, and some people probably going faster than that, So, yeah, I would want my bike to be able to maintain 80 miles an hour, without breaking a sweat, because my DR was just like, it felt like it was getting too hot, at those speeds. I That's another thing about the Tenere 700. I don't remember it producing a lot of heat, so it's not gonna cook you. So it doesn't, like I said, it probably doesn't put out a whole lot of power. That's actually a good thing because it doesn't generate a lot of heat. It's not gonna cook you. So I don't know how it would deal with like extreme temperatures, like 100 plus degrees or lower temperatures for that matter. So um, I would have to buy one and do it. so so yeah. All right, yeah. So there's some other extra comments I wanted to make about the Tenere 700, the center stand. It would be nice if it had one, but it's a center stand. It could use a cruise control. Maybe the windscreen could be a little bit taller, just a tad taller. I'm pretty sure they have stuff like that, and then like if there was any kind of like luggage rack options, kind of like what's on my KLR right now. Yeah, but if HadesOmega was gonna get a Tenere 700, I would do the soft luggage, or if they had some way, you could take the bags on and off the hard cases and just put like, put a giant loop on it, and that would be great. Like, HadesOmega doesn't do the. When I ride off road, I want to. If I'm gonna do a lot of dirt riding, then I'm gonna want to use soft luggage, for sure. Okay, it's just better weight balance. I'm interested to see how that bike does riding in the sand too. I wonder how hard it would be to ride that bike in the sand. DR650, kind of hard to ride in the sand. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I've owned DR650 for a while now, and it's always a challenge riding that thing in the sand. It'll do it, but you got to get up to speed. And if you're weighed down by a bunch of luggage, it doesn't help either. It kind of helps a little bit. I've ridden much smaller bikes like a XR400, a Beta 500. I've ridden a DRZ 400 and on like beach sand and stuff, and it'll just boom, it'll easily get through that stuff. Yeah, I was impressed how like the smaller bikes can handle the sand better than the DR, man. The DR is just not happy in the sand. I'll tell you that. Maybe it's just my DR. I'm not sure, but yeah, I would be interested to see how the Tenere does in the sand too. So yeah, I thought it was a great bike. Great bike for the money, 10,000. It's probably your best bang for your buck adventure bike in that size category. That's like, I would say that, call it a middleweight adventure bike. Okay, a large adventure bike would be like the Super Tenere. Okay, or maybe even the Africa Twin. The Africa Twin is kind of in between a large and a small, but it's definitely, the Africa Twin is larger than the Tenere, and it's more expensive. I looked at the price tag; it was like $17,000. Holy moly! Yeah. If you can buy a Tenere 700 for $10,000, without it getting marked up too much, or you could just wait till there's used ones, So I still think it's a great value for money bike. But yeah, you're probably gonna wind up dumping some money into it to get it ready for adventure riding. But if you weren't gonna do adventure riding, if you were just gonna ride around town or whatever, have it as a multi-purpose kind of bike, I think it would be great serving that purpose as well. Okay, like my KLR here, I have this set up for long distance riding, and it's got all the hard bags and stuff on it. It's great having all this stuff on it, but not when you want to ride it off road. I mean, I guess you could, but you wouldn't want to do it very. You wouldn't want to do very much aggressive dirt riding in this bike. Okay. That's why it's still so clean, by the way. All right, so those are some extra comments I wanted to make about the Tenere. All right, HadesOmega. Also, the color. I kind of want one that's all white, man. They had like a white one and a red one, and then they had the blue one. I think it was like blue and black or something. I would kind of want something. I kind of like the blue one. I would dig the blue. I like the white one too. I'm not sure. I would want one that was all white though. I don't like the white and red. I wish they had more color schemes. Maybe next year they'll come out with different colors, or also I heard there might be a bigger tank version. I don't know how. I think the 200 miles range, I think that's like the bare minimum you would want if you were going to do some serious adventure riding. 200 miles is like the bare minimum you want. Well, okay, I would say 150 is the bare minimum, but if you're having to fill up at 150, you're gonna want to carry extra fuel with you, and I'm telling you, you don't want to carry extra fuel on the bike. You want to carry it in the gas tank, okay? So I would say a bike that could do 250, even just the stock tank on the KLR 650, I can do 250 miles on this bike. It is nice having a big tank, okay? Now, it does weigh the bike down a whole lot, though, so. But yeah, HadesOmega would probably wait till they had that bigger tank version, the more long-distance ride. Bigger tank, cruise control, heated grips. There's another one. I don't think it had heated grips, so that's another thing I would add to the bike. Heated grips, so that's one thing it lacks. It would be nice if it had that from the factory, heated grips. Cruise control. It's got the windscreen already. A center stand would be great for adventure riding. Just in case you get a flat tire or you need to do some kind of maintenance on the bike, you got a center stand. I'm not gonna lie, I have a center stand on my bike, and I rarely use it when I go adventure bike riding. Okay, but when you get a flat tire, and you have to take that wheel off, it's worth every penny. It has add weight to the bike, and it flops around a bit and stuff hits it, but yeah. Heated grips would have been another other option that I would want. Also, there was like so see how this one has a direct shifter. The CP2 motor has this. It has a lever right here, but it has this long kind of push rod arm that's the one that actually changes the gears, and I kind of don't like that because it's really long. It's sticking out there. It looks like it could get damaged pretty easily. That's one thing I don't like about it. So I'd imagine they have probably a variety of like crash bars and stuff. Okay, so yeah, that's some other extra notes about it. If you guys are wondering, that's the stuff that's in HadesOmega's mind, okay, about the Tenere. But I like that it has a 21-inch front. It's got an 18-inch rear. I never had an 18-inch rear. I have 17s on my bike, so yeah. So could use a bigger tank. It could use heated grips, cruise control, center stand. Yeah, for $10,000, you're getting a pretty good base adventure bike, okay, and then you farkle it how you want it, and that's how I like to do it. I don't want to pay like a whole lot of money, and then it's got all the stuff on it. I don't have to do anything to it, but I don't mind farkling it just a little bit, customizing it. So yeah, that's why the bars were fine. The ergonomics are great on it. The windscreen was great. Just as a basic bike, I think it's a good place to start. But like if I was gonna do adventure riding with it, which is what HadesOmega would want to do, is heated grips, cruise control, some kind of cruise control device, center stand, and bigger gas tank. I think it could use a little slightly bigger. It would be nice. It would have been nice if they put like a 5-gallon tank on it, or 5.5 gallons. Would have been good. I think 4.3 gallons is just. It's just the bare minimum. That's about the smallest I'd want before I felt comfortable. I would still want to probably carry some extra gas, maybe in a tiny little bottle, But yeah, I realize like 200 is okay, but 250 is even better. If you can go 250 miles, between gas stops, then that's great, because you know, there are some instances where that will happen. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, dude. When I was doing the Trans-America Trail, I was like, I'm glad I had that big gas tank. It's nice not having to have that range anxiety. Okay, HadesOmega gets a lot of range anxiety riding electric bike. Okay, so I don't want to have that during doing adventure riding. All right, thanks for watching. HadesOmega out.